Good day, great people around the world. It's a beautiful morning here in Milan, Italy, and we are here on our News Echoes Global Africa. Our News Echo Global Africa is where we give news updates as it concerns mainly Nigerians also in the diaspora. My name is Godwin Iweajua on this 20th day of December 2023. So as usual, I come on the screen with my colleagues, my coordinators and friends, brothers, all in the four corners of the earth. So right there in Toronto, Canada is our man, Sir George Chukwu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my Godwin, and good morning, viewers from around the world. We thank you for joining us today. It's going to be a fantastic show.
Yes, indeed. Sir George, it's 5 days to Christmas. How
That's
is
right.
Toronto? How is mood there? It's so, I mean, a lot of lightning, candles, flowers, trees all around Milan. Milan is a cosmopolitan city, so period like this, moment like this, the whole place is lit up, lights, trees everywhere. How is Toronto?
The same thing here. A lot of people it's a little cold, but we are managing with the lights, warm our hearts, getting ready for the Christmas, for the celebration. It's indeed
Warm
a
our
very
hearts.
wonderful one. Yes.
Yes. Christmas 2023, and it's a great thing to be alive. It's a great grace to be alive at this time, George. I mean, we know what happened with the COVID and all that time, and now we can see Christmas 2023. So it's fun. Thank God.
It's
All right,
fantastic.
George. We're going to first of all look through what's making hot news headline in the papers, the newspaper,
right.
global newspapers. Then we'll come into the discussion. First of all, there's something far away, China. There was a deadly earthquake that struck northwest China. 126 people have been killed so far, and over 800 injured. So this is what we're hearing from China. He said some survivors describe it as being tossed by surging waves, prompting many people to evacuate their homes and run away. So China is not doing too bad now. 126 people dead as a result of a deadly earthquake. Far away, it's actually a business discussion, but let me just say it as a news. There's something going on. Global supply chain could be affected even as we go into the Christmas holiday season, because there's a problem with the sea and a rebel group called the Houthis of Yemen. This rebel group are standing for Hamas, so they are blocking movement of ship from that uses the Red Sea, diverting those ship into other areas of route. So, but we'll come to that later. So, but it's coming on us as headline news, and it requires urgent solution, because this might affect global supply chain. This might affect the price of crude oil, the price of a lot of things as a result of that movement of the ship. In Rivers State, Nigeria, we're also coming to that discussion. This morning, the governor of Rivers State, Nigeria, South Nigeria, said he's approving 100,000 as a Christmas bonus for all civil servants in Rivers State. Rivers State giving out 100,000 naira bonus as Christmas bonus. Also, in the headline news this morning, the leader of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, that's Nnamdi Kanu, said he's not broken by what the last Friday Supreme Court verdict. The last Friday Supreme Court verdict against him sees him to face trial. He's going to face trial again on terrorism. And these are allegations against him by, like he says, allegations against him by the federal government. So, but this morning he made a press outing and he said he's not broken by those by the situation of things. So, George, that's some of the headline papers we're looking at. You have anything to say on those papers?
Well, they actually, in all of this, the one that is, we just send our condolences to the families that are affected with the earthquake in China. We pray for that God will sustain them, strengthen them, those that lost loved ones. But also, another issue internationally is the blockade of these, ships that are moving goods across the sea.
Yes.
I think these young people are just seeking death sentence because they try this. All we need is just one country to, release a jet fighter to just clear them all out in one moment of time. So there are some things that you just don't do. There was a group of men who tried to do that with Ethiopia. I don't know if you remember a while ago.
Yes. The Ethiopian.
Ethiopia,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then their end came up also abruptly. So these are things that people are doing, and these are things that some of these terrorist organizations are doing without thinking. You go to Israel, you bombard and kill a lot of people just, without thinking. What are the consequences of your action? Who are the ones that are going to suffer at the end of this whole entire thing? Now everybody's crying out. They're still holding hostages, but they're not releasing the hostages, but they're still crying out, oh, let us stop, the invasion of trying to destroy Hamas. Israel stands the position to protect themselves, knowing what has happened in the past and what is going to happen again if care is not taken. So these are the things that we are looking at. Some of these people need to start thinking because some of them, if one of these countries releases a fighter jet right now, they will be cleared in a moment of time and nothing will happen. No, there will be no consequences but loss of life, the lives. So
George,
that's what we're saying.
that's true. What is happening is this group stepped up the attack since after that October 17th, and they are being backed by Iran. Iran is backing them up. So they are using drones, they are using rocket propelled machines, and they are going against foreign owned vessels like you have Mesak, you have all these Mediterranean shipping companies with big vessels that carries goods. So these guys are they are taking it very, very serious. And like you said, I remember the Ethiopian terrorists that were blocking people on that stretch. It's that line of the peninsula, the Arabian and the Yemen Peninsula, where ships come through to bring goods from the south to the north, and some take from Europe to Asia. So when you have that situation in that place, it affects a lot of things. And you just said other things. They might have to come take them down. But let's see how that plays out because it's a delicate thing. If they are being backed by Iran, it's not going to be easy to just come there because Iran is giving them drones. They are using big machines. When I saw some videos on this news,
I
mean,
saw that also. I saw that
yes,
also. But I can
yes.
tell you what, two countries only come together, they are gone.
Okay,
That's all I'm gonna say. They are gone.
they're gone.
Yes, because
Okay,
they're in the middle of the sea and they have satellites that can, just show their position, and that's all she wrote. So they
and that's
better be careful. Doesn't matter who is backing them up. If you're expecting a world economy, they're gonna come after you.
Let's
And
also
they,
tell us why this shipping route is very important. Any ship that passes through the Suez Canal from the Indian Ocean, they go through that route, the Red Sea. They go through the Red Sea. So the Suez Canal is the quickest sea route between Asia and Europe, and it's particularly important in the transportation of oil, liquefied gas, and goods too. So about 9 million barrels of oil pass through that Suez Canal, that line. So if there's any destruction there, it affects a lot of things globally. So this is why we're
yeah, it's
discussing.
a temporary, it's a temporary situation. I can guarantee you that. It's a
Okay.
temporary situation. Once they come together, they
Mhm.
are gone. I don't give
Yeah.
a care who is backing them. you cannot stop the world from moving the way it's supposed to. If you want to
Okay.
be a terrorist, better be ready for the consequences that will come after you. It doesn't matter who is backing them. Those that are not backing them are greater than those that are backing them. They're just going to sacrifice their lives. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, George, thank you very much. Let's move on, George, to news updates in Nigeria. And our focus, like the headline for today says, is the Rivers crisis. Rivers State, Nigeria is going through a crisis, and it's a serious thing. So let's look at some of the things we're looking at. First of all, as of last night till this morning, a prominent figure in River State, Papa Edwin Clark, has said that the truce between Governor Fubara and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, he said the president can't add his voice to it. He says Tinubu doesn't have the constitutional right to add a voice to that situation. Also, looking at that paper, George, you saw that also the 8-point resolution that was brought out by the both end Wike and Fubara. But this morning, George, some people are saying that thing was done under it's not clear representation from the governor, that they somehow hijacked his signature and added it to that 8-point agenda resolution. So a lot of things surrounding River State. And like you know, George, you know this, River State is a key state in Nigeria. River State, South Nigeria, with a population of about 5 million people, is a major state where the production of oil and gas for Nigeria comes through. So if things are not settled in rivers, somehow it might affect our oil production. George, what's your take on all of this? Well, before we go on, sorry, George, before we go on, let's bring in our coordinator, our beautiful lady diva, BD Nana from Lagos, Nigeria.
BD is shining. BD, if you don't smile, if you do not smile right now, I will put a shame show on you today. So welcome.
Good morning, Sir George. Good morning, Massive Mike.
Good morning. You're welcome. And you're coming right on time to also add to the talk on River State. George, let me hear you, because yesterday me and you were saying some things.
No, you see what I'm seeing in this whole entire thing is this. This is like a child's play. It is like a child's play. Executive governor that was elected by the people. It doesn't matter who encouraged him to come there. It doesn't matter, whether the godfather or whatever, is that you cannot be a governor, leave and take the FCT leadership, and then come to control what is happening in River State. This is nothing but making Tinubu look so bad, making his government look so weak. Another thing that I want to say before I say, I come to the particular, what happened was, prior to this time, there was no resolution between the Wike and Fubara, and everybody is crying out and saying, Tinubu, you need to do something. Tinubu, you need to do something. Tinubu, you need to come to, hold your man, your attack dog, Wike. Now all of a sudden, Tinubu comes together and bring a resolution. Whatever they call, whether it's a sham resolution or a real resolution, they are attacking him that he has no constitutional right. Now, that's the two-sided edged sword that we're seeing in Nigeria. Damn you do, damn you don't. Tinubu is trying to do something to bring peace between this mad dog called Wike in FCT, whom I believe needs to be removed from that position, or else Tinubu will be dragged down. I am telling you, if Wike is not put on a leash, he is going to drag down Tinubu and his government, because the man is uncontrollable. He is a mad dog. He doesn't have any, no decorum of any kind. So now, when it comes to the resolution, I think that what they have done so far is trying to bring peace But is that going to, in the future, hamper and distort what this Fubara is going to do? Or is Wike going to continue to try to control what is happening in River State? The only thing that needs to happen here is to hold that mad dog and let him be in Abuja and mind the business of Abuja and leave River State alone.
Leave River State alone. Strong ones from George there. But George, some other things came up this morning, and one of it is first of all, also the lawyer, our lawyer Femi Falana says Tinubu can't reinstate the 27
House. That's another situation.
Yes, that cross-carpeted. They can't.
Yes.
Falana is saying this, and also by Edwin Clark, a prominent voice right there at a leader of the Pan Niger Delta Forum, says Tinubu doesn't have the constitutional right to dabble into state issues. But you have said your own. BD, okay, I think BD was. So, BD, are you still there with us? Okay, your screen has to come the other way. Okay, while BD is preparing, George. So with these two things I've said, number one, Falana says.
So Falana is saying that the 1999 Constitution did not make any provision for the president to intervene in such a situation. But the reason why this is very important is because his nominated FCT leader, which is Wike, is actually the individual who is interrupting the welfare of River State. Therefore, something needed to be done. I know this is part of the reason why they're saying that we need to revisit the 1999 Constitution, because it was made by the way that it was written. We have gone so far away from that particular Constitution and needs to be revisited. The Northerners don't want that Constitution to be revisited, because when things are flattened and a fake ground for everybody to exist, they might not like it, but they need to revisit it now. I know the Constitution is saying that Tinubu does not have the right to intervene, but we needed him to, because these two people were going like children playing soccer in the field. Another thing that I want to say is the 27 people, that is the only place that I have issues with. If they rose up and crossed the line, I think that they need to be held back. For them to be reinstituted into the government without any type of ramifications whatsoever, and all the benefits given to them should be checked. That's the only thing that I'm against in this whole entire thing, because it is done. It was done in order to appease Wike, and that needs to stop.
That's your view, George. Thank you. BD, hope you're okay there. BD, this morning also, the governor said something that was very strong. He said, no price is too big for the peace in Rivers. This is coming after so many people, after many dialogue, agreement, disagreement, and all that. But he said this morning, that no price is too big for the peace in Rivers. BD, how are you seeing the Rivers situation?
What I'm seeing in Rivers is actually what is an accumulation of breakdown of law and order. Like I said earlier, in Nigeria, when something is not happening to us direct, we don't take it serious. Wike is actually the problem in River State, and it has been in Wike thing. But because Wike was in the other party, because he was in a PDP, the PDP people were clapping at him. They praised him. He was breaking order. We all knew what Wike did. Wike broke a lot of laws, but because he was in PDP, nobody, saw it as anything. Now he's in the other side of the road, so we are beginning to see all the things Wike was doing wrong then. So, and those things has accumulated, and that becomes a problem now. Like a lot of people who are saying, yes, constitutionally, the president has no right to intervene in the affairs of a state. But as a leader, as a father of the state, do you understand? Why they are saying this is because the political aspect of it, they are looking at it as if they allow the president to get involved in this, he might not handle it the way he's supposed to handle it. And probably because people already assume that what is happening in River State is because there is an attempt to take over River State from PDP to APC. So because of that, they are not even giving chance for presidents to even intervene as a father, as a leader, as the first personality in Nigeria. So that is the angle everybody is coming on this, because they feel if they allow president to get in, this will even get messier. Do you understand? Because for 27 House members to wake up just one day and tell you they are leaving a party that actually,
elected them
into power, it shows that there's no regard for people of River State. And if they allow this, a lot of things will go wrong. Now, Sabra is saying that he's open for peace. Yes, he can be open for peace if the people of River State will allow sentiment to go, and they will be ready to stand on the truth and say things the way it is. Because one of the problems we are having in this part of the world is that majority of us, we don't say things the way it is. We don't say truth. We lie a lot. We always try to be politically correct. Do you understand? Now, I have a lot of problem with our president during the election, the way he goes through the election processes, and which I said, but today he's the president of Nigeria, and the law, in as much as the law did their own thing shabbily and wrongly, they've said it, and it has been upheld. So as it stands now, Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. So it becomes and we always say, like the Bible says, if the foundation is wrong, what can the righteous do? This is as a result of the foundation. That is why they wouldn't want the president to get involved. But by right, as a president, as a first candidate of this country, he has the right to speak his word, and they will listen.
Thank you very much. Oh dear.
Of the filthy foundation.
She just said it all. George, that was a strong one from BD. Still on that same issue, what we also observe is that when it comes to this whole thing, George, we know the background of how Fubara came. So that's why the Wike can't believe this sudden snitch on him, sudden backstabbing, because he was his boy. And George, you've always said this. When two people come to an agreement, that agreement should hold. So Fubara too, on his part, is breaking the accord. He's breaking. I mean, why did he decide to be his boy in the first place if he's going to come and break the truce, break the agreement? I mean, why not just?
You see, one thing that we do wrong in that country is this. It's happened with many governors and their predecessors, whereby I help you to get into power, but you owe me for helping you to get into power. I will not allow you to do your job as a governor. The question is, because of the corrupt system in Nigeria, should good people now cease to seek for office when they know that they get in there, they can make a change? So, do you understand what I'm saying? Because this is how we recycle corruption in our country. You know that somebody is wrong, but you know that you're thinking about cleaning up that messy acts that were before you. Now, when you get in there and want to clean up your act, they want to hold you hostage because I help you to get there. Yes, indeed, you help me to get there. I will honor you and respect you, but I can ask you for advice. But for you to control me as an executive governor of a state is unforgivable. because this is how these things people continue to recycle, handing over government. We don't get the good people to come in. We'll get people that we know that will go there and protect our own interest, not the interest of the people.
Thank you, George.
So I don't go against Fubara in any way whatsoever.
Okay, what George is saying worked well anyway for Tinubu in Lagos. Tinubu brought his people. We remember Fashola, we remember Ambode, and the one that was trying to play naughty, he took him out. That was Ambode. So we've always seen this happen, and it has been playing out well so far for some states in Nigeria. Even the present governor of Lagos State is like a stooge for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So, Bidi, what will you say about this kind of governance? Where
now, Massive Mike, one thing you should understand about Nigeria, what makes us a country is our diversity, and in the midst of that, our diversity, we have our different culture, our different way of life, our different who we are. That is one thing a lot of people don't put into consideration in making such move when it comes to political. Yes, Tinubu have done this in the West, and it has worked perfectly well for him. Now, you want to do it in your Southwest or Southeast or South North, you should first consider your people. What kind of people are your people? Put them into consideration. If you remember, Oshamalo tried this in Edo, and he could not succeed. That's one thing people don't understand. Now, it's like when I come into this studio, I expect to behave to you the same way I behave to Sir George. It won't work. That's one people don't consider. Wike wants to be the emperor of the Southwest politically. Looking at Tinubu, he wants to replicate the Tinubu prototype in Southwest. South. And he has not looked at the personality of South people compared to the personality of Southwest people. That's the mistake here. Do you understand? That is the mistake. He didn't consider that. Tinubu could do it in the Southwest and it worked for him. That will not work in the South. And that's the problem Wike is having now. The same people who cheered him when he was governor, the same people who praised him, who sang his praises, are the same people fighting him. So
thank you.
That's a lot of mistake.
It's just how it is. And George, you agree with that? You've always said that.
I do agree, but look at what is happening right now.
Okay.
Because of what is going on, Asari Dokubo is turning against the government. It's turning against Tinubu. It's already threatening, because this is between Ijaw people, because Fubara is from the Ijaw area, right?
Okay.
Right? So now what is happening, you see what you call ethnic division and ethnic conflict coming on. So now you see the boy of Tinubu, Asari Dokubo. Now he's rising up against his own master and threatening and saying, come after me, I will destroy things. So these are the little things like I'm supporting what Bidi is saying. We fail to understand that you have to study the people and see their own way of life and the way they behave before you try to force them and back them against the wall. That is one major problem that is not going to work in that particular area, because now there is ethnic division and ethnic conflict taking place between the two sides. Come and remove my man, I will destroy the whole entire thing. And the man is threatening because he was given the power to get weapon. And he has that weapon right now. Say, come after me, we will fight. So these are the little things that needs to be considered when you're making certain decisions. You can't replicate what is happening in the north with what's happening in the south or in the west or in the east. You have to study the people like Bidi said. So I'm in support of that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen, we'll go on a break now. When we come back with more discussions, Nigerian women, somebody's saying, should be exempted from paying tax. And that's the Minister of Women Affairs. We're also looking at the Pope that has allowed priests to bless same-sex marriage and some other news. So hang around, guys. Thank you very much, viewers. You are tuning to News Echoes this beautiful Wednesday here in Milan, Wednesday morning. And we're doing our global Africa updates. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
This is your numero uno, and my name is Charlie Boy. Yes, the king of boys, the area father, the father of their fathers, the Odudubariba one of Africa. Yes, the president of all frustrated Nigeria. You see, when you go on this Schengen team with these boys, you go get the real information. No be yawa yawa. Because me, I am authenticating this platform because now where we go get the correct information. If you are not here, then you're a mumu. I beg, come on, poke it there.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in South Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
Yes, viewers, you are tuned in to SSM News Echoes Wednesday. We are giving our Global Africa news. And George, hope you're there. BD, there's a quick one before we go into the other news. And that quick one is the Minister of Women Affairs, Nigerian Minister of Women Affairs said yesterday, she said Nigerian women should be exempted from paying tax. And this is coming from one Miss Uju Kennedy, Minister. Yes, and she's saying this. I don't know what her reasons are. She said women must be empowered. These are her words. I'm quoting her. Without women, there won't be peace. When you empower a woman, you've empowered 20 women, she said. She was speaking at the event titled Women, Peace, Security Sector there in Abuja. George, I'll start with George first before we come to the woman. Because George, the women used to say, what a man can do, a woman can do better. And men pay tax. Everybody pays. Now, women should even be made to pay double the tax, if anything is bigger. George, this one is funny. It's serious, George. said that yesterday, and it's all over
see,
the headline.
You see, sometimes, some of these people that are appointed as ministers, we need to really check, the background of some of these people, because they come out and just want to grab attention here and there and say things without thinking. I mean, what is that? It's just like what we've always said. Women are seeking equality, equal pay, equal everything, equal in their household. They want to be, comparable to their husbands. That's okay. But please, don't seek such. It's just like a woman who is wanting a husband and yet trying to prove her manhood. A double head animal is a beast. It doesn't work. If you want equality in everything, that's fine and dandy. But be ready to also do as a man do. Because you do me, I do you, man, not go vex, right? So if we pay in taxes, everybody should pay taxes. You're driving on the same road we're driving, right? You need light like everybody do. So now, when it comes to the family house, and then you're telling me are you trying to exempt yourself as the Minister of Women Affairs that you should not pay taxes to? Now, you see, sometimes one of these people, what they do, sometimes they just talk out of their. I don't know what motivates them to say.
I think she's trying to escape paying tax in her home too. She doesn't want to.
What it is this: if you say, women that are in the marketplace that are struggling to survive should be exempted from paying taxes. The traders that are in the marketplace saying pepper and saying crayfish, I can understand. But to come and make a blanket statement is stupid, is foolish, and it is unreasonable. And she should check herself, because she's trying to grab attention wherever she can. She's been going around making all kinds of stupid comments that doesn't even make any sense. So that's why we need to really check the background of these people before we appoint them, honestly speaking.
Childish reasoning. BD, your woman says you women shouldn't pay tax. Meanwhile, we are both in the same field of endeavor and we're all struggling, and you won't have to pay tax. BD, are you there? Okay, I think she has network.
She's frozen. Okay, here she's going.
Go ahead. Oh, dear, BD, we're losing you. Your network is frozen and we can't hear you. It's all right, BD. Check the network. Let's come back to you.
Okay, so anyway.
Yes.
So you see, one of the major problems we have is we allow people now, because of social media, because everything is just, you can come and make one stupid comment and start trending. There are some things that needs to be condemned. I mean, are you saying women should not pay tax? That if you are the CEO of one of the banks in Nigeria, you should be tax exempt? I mean, does it make any sense? If you are a captain in the army, you should not pay tax.
And do you know women are doing massively well now around the world, and even in Nigeria, women own companies. They are billionaires now too. So exempting them from not paying tax will shortchange the country.
The point is this.
Mm-hmm.
The statement was stupid, it is foolish, and should not be paid attention to. And should get a public rebuke.
But somehow the Inspector General of Police was in that event, and he also says, yes, that the Nigerian police is currently reviewing policies in a bid to readdress issues pertaining national gender policy and all of that. So you might think it's a no statement, no nonsense, but before you know, they might even begin to put it into the House for consideration on.
Let me tell you something. The government we have today, Nigeria is not operating in its primal ways, the way it's supposed to. I do understand that they can go forward and start doing all of this and changing the laws and all those type of things. Now, when you want to do tax exempt, there should be qualifications in tax exempt. If it's lower income people that are not making as much money, the market to women, or those that are struggling, or new businesses that are coming up, you want to do taxes, exempt on them. That is a good way to help them to grow. Don't come out and make a stupid blanket statement like that. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid and should not even be considered. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, in the midst of that, George, a Nigerian-born professor, Ijoma Uchebu, was appointed president of the University of Cambridge. So
Yes.
Women are doing very well. We want
I support that completely, 100%.
Yes, we want to
100%.
congratulate her.
Congratulations.
Yes, we want to congratulate her. That was a good one. That's her there. That's the Professor Ijoma. Professor Ijoma. She's now the president of the Wolfson College, the University of Cambridge. And Ijoma is a Nigerian, as you can see.
She's an Igbo woman.
An Igbo woman from the southeast of Nigeria, a professor of pharmaceutical science. She's been very, very exceptional in her work for the past years. And currently she's a lecturer in a college in London. She has intellectual and very strong global work she has done in science, technology, engineer, and mathematics. That's the STEM, like they call it, STEM, which have also won her. It has won her so many awards, won her award all over the world of fellowship, accolades, and she continues to trailblaze in the pharmaceutical nanoscience industry. So we want to also congratulate her. A lot of people have sent in their congratulations. Peter B, the LP candidate, presidential candidate, did that, and some prominent Nigerians too. BD, we wanted to hear from you. First of all, we're talking of women being exempted from tax, and we will now also
let me speak on that. Is it like I said earlier? What Sir George has said, she is actually looking for publicity. I hate it when people speak in a place of trying to be in the good book of people. It makes you look stupid, because you can't be working under Tinubu, President Tinubu, and you'll be encouraging people not to pay tax. Understanding that Tinubu is a tax man. He believes so much in tax. So she should even be careful so that she doesn't lose her appointment. Now, in Nigeria, the owners of micro business in Nigeria, women equal to 40% owners of micro business in Nigeria. In Nigeria, 41% of that. And you know that if you come to in a society, the people that actually sustain society are the small business owners. And the women, when it comes to Nigeria, 41% of them are women. And you're coming to say they should not pay tax. So when you're trying to say that you want to shut down Nigerian economy, that is totally wrong. She's wrong in that she doesn't know what she's saying. The other thing she said is that women need to empower. If she had emphasized on that, empowering these women, making their business effortless, genders, and helping them to grow and run their business, providing the necessary things they need, like funding for them, because that is actually one of the biggest problems women are having in Nigeria. Because to do business as a woman in Nigeria is not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Now, a lot of women are going all out, putting in their best to make sure they run business and their business is growing. I can tell you about 23 million female entrepreneurs are the numbers that are doing well in Nigeria. Now, when you say that 23 million entrepreneurs should not pay tax, you know what it's going to be? Because let me tell you, these are the people who make things go around in Nigeria. An average senator gets his money, runs to Dubai, runs to Switzerland to buy a house and buy things there. But the money that we use in circulation comes from 41% of women, and you're saying they will not pay tax. No, she should push empowering them, helping them grow their business, providing funding for them. If she said this, because she said it there too, it was among them included in the line when she was talking about they should not pay tax, that women should be empowered. I think she should focus on empowering women, providing for them what they need.
Focus on empowering women. You highlighted on that. So part of what she said is that, and I think that would be the part you should run with, and not the not paying tax part. Thank you, BD. Let's move on. More things to talk about. But before we go on to some real strong news, let's talk about something that concerns the three of us here as media people. Yesterday, the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, met with Nigerian newspaper owners at the presidential villa. He met with Shegun Oshoba, Malam Kabiru, Yusuf, Prince, Nduka, Obangbana, and Sam Amuka. These are owners of This Day paper, owners of what are those papers again? Business Day, owners of Telegraph newspaper, and some of the major newspapers in Nigeria. So when I saw that meeting, I was wondering if he's bringing them into, you could silence the press to have your way in your governance. BD and George, this concerns us. Will you want to go to a meeting of the president of Nigeria because you're a media person? And what are the intricacies behind that? I mean, we're in freedom of utterance, freedom of speech, freedom of articles, freedom of everything human. So if somebody is calling you to come and let's reason out, soft pedal when you're doing your news, so that we can all be moving on. Will you agree to that kind of discussion?
Oh, personally, I think there is nothing wrong with calling a meeting for the press people, as long as you are not going there to intimidate or manipulate them into favoring you, when it comes to the news or what they are bringing out to the public. So if the president of France or US calls a meeting of the henchmen, like the people that own CNN or MSNBC or whatever the case might be, there is nothing wrong with that, as long as these people do understand that when they go into these meetings, there are expectations that the president should not in any way, directly or indirectly, try to intimidate, to manipulate their views or the way they bring out the news. As long as they're doing it fairly, justly, and equitably, there should not be any manipulation. Now, we know how things work in Nigeria. So the man wants to get in good favor with people, because he's clamoring for recognition internationally and locally, which is okay. It's been what is happening in Nigeria is already happened. So we're not. What we want is now for him to govern well, bring back the glory of Nigeria, whether it is possible under his administration because of his own foundation that has already been destroyed worldwide. I don't know. So all we need is the best for our people. Govern right, don't manipulate anybody, make sure we obey international laws when it comes to the freedom of press. So that's all I can say.
That's all you can say. Thank you very much. BD, there's something we Nigerians, media people, pressmen that are outside Nigeria, there's a problem we have, and that's that we rarely have good news come out from Nigeria. It's always one story or the other, and most times it is the government that is at some of those misfortune, problems, and all those things. And now the president is calling these media homes to a meeting. What will you say if you are in that kind of meeting to the president?
Massive bag. Why good news are not coming from Nigeria is because we, the media, have sold our conscience. When I was in school, I have one of the best lecturers, who call him IBB, one old man. He will tell you that journalism is just a noble cause. It's not a cause that will make you rich. But today, what do? A lot of media people want to be rich. We want to ride the best cars. We want to live in the best house to the detriment of our conscience. We see things, we turn it upside down. We go to an event, we don't ask necessary questions because we know when we ask, they will not give us the necessary envelope that is due for us. Do you understand? Now, before I answer your question, it is only somebody who don't understand who will say that that meeting was for the good of Nigeria. That meeting was an attempt to silence Nigerian media. Let me tell you now, when Buhari assumed office, the same meeting was called by the media in the north. My partner attended that meeting, and that was where they told the media to stop reporting verbatim what happened in the north during the killing, the Boko Haram, everything. And after that meeting, the news about killings in the north were silenced. Nigerians were rejoicing that, after years, what happened? They say, but you people told us that the killing, the Boko Haram has been taken care of. It was as a result of this kind of meeting that I was held with Lai Mohammed and President Buhari. The same meeting is going on here now. And somebody is coming to tell me it's for the good of Nigeria. It's not true. This meeting was an attempt to silence the media. And unfortunately, we are going to be silenced because that is the kind of media we have in Nigeria. I used to say to most, I said, one of the problems we have in Nigeria today is because of the kind of media personality and media houses we have. They are guided towards enriching themselves, getting a life. If I used to tell some of my colleagues, if you want to practice this media, practice it. If you want to make money, go and do business. Establish business by the side, and then do this media like a media person. You are the watchdog of the society. You are the first estate reign of the society. You are to speak for the society. You are to see for the society. But what are we doing today? We are doing the opposite because we want to be the right good of the politicians, the rich men, the big man. We don't say the truth.
Well, I partially agree with you, Baby, but you can't speak emphatically because you don't know the reason why the meeting was called. You were not there, and there is no way you could have told the tone. You could have say you might. This is an assumption that based on the past, that this is exactly what you believe might have been happening. But you have to understand that in a meeting like that, things will sneak out. So I don't think Tinubu is a foolish man to come out openly. He might be wanting to buy grace from from the media, but I don't think he's so foolish to come and to start telling them, "Oh, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot do this, you cannot do that." So now, listen. Well, listen to this. Listen. Even Tinubu himself can actually come out and have a very good, wonderful meeting with them, encouraging them to do the right thing. By so doing, he's still trying to paint a picture of grace that I support you guys, so they could not support me. He doesn't have to say anything wrong by doing that. But I know also for sure that the people on top, when you talk about making money, no, the media groups make a lot of money because they do commercials, they do advertising, they do all of those things. In America, they are the strongest. Look at Fox News. Fox News is one of the richest, CNN, all of them. So they make a lot of money when it comes to money making. There is nothing wrong with media making money. They're there to make money. The people that you have to be concerned about are the people in the lower echelon. Because when I was doing politics in Nigeria, they came to interview me a few times. And I did not understand. The first time this happened, I didn't understand. So the man will not leave afterwards. So somebody came and whispered to me, "Oh, they're waiting for you to help them out, to, give them money for
George,
transportation."
Understand what the BD is saying. Like you just said now, that is why they distort news. They don't say things the way it is. So we have this so much clumsy news atmosphere because people are just catching up news because they've collected brown envelope. That's what BD is saying. But BD, I also want to say something to you. I studied here abroad, and I know one thing. The American media home sold out a false narrative of America to the world. They were showing the world a beautiful, glorious America of a dream and all that. Meanwhile, inside America was something totally different. So if the president wants to probably have Nigeria begin to say things to just uplift our name, and we keep dealing with the problems on ground, I don't think it's because it worked well for America. Everybody loves to be in America because they think it's one beautiful, great country. Meanwhile, there are poverty, there are things happening, bombs everywhere, junkies and drug addicts, and bad economy also. So
anywhere you go, you see that. Anywhere you go, you see that. But one thing I have to let you know is this: there is what you call a divide between the truth and alternative truth. We saw it with Fox News. When they receive information, they will switch, they will turn it around. So, we're talking about Nigeria, but, it happens everywhere. They will turn that news around to feed the narratives of the people they are feeding the news to. You understand? We saw that during the election, this past election, and it happened so much so that these people had to pay billions of dollars, in fines that was given to them. And we also know that in places like Russia and all those type of things, the news people are being, I mean, this one is not even manipulation anymore. It's mandated because you talk nonsense, your own is over. So it's not only in Nigeria that this happens. It happens all over the place. You can't go to Iran and begin to bring out any kind of news, and they will let you leave. So it's international. So let's just not kill our own people too.
You should understand that. You should understand the difference from twisting, like Sir George said, twisting, gagging the truth, and branding. Branding. They are two different things. Do you understand? What American did was actually branding. But what Fox News does is twisting and gagging the truth. Do you understand? Now, what I said about Tinubu inviting them, I didn't say that, but I said anybody who is expecting that is not because we are in Nigeria. We know how many people they've taken up for speaking or criticizing his government. Lately, Obi came out to say they are threatening him because they offered him to stop criticizing his government and he refused. And there's a threat on him. So that's based on what is happening around. You can't expect the best considering their track record. It's still APC. They are still the same.
They're still the same. Thank you very much.
The same thing.
It's still the same.
Buhari, so they'll still repeat it here. So that's why I said what I said.
Okay, and what you said stands. It's logical. Okay, but we hope to grow in our media dissemination in Nigeria. We want to also, like you said, I like that classification. We want to brand Nigeria. It's time to brand Nigeria too. It's time to put Nigeria in a positive light in every angle, and let's see how that will work out. Because for too long, we've been castigating, running down, saying all kind of trash about Nigeria. So let's see if we brand, maybe the mentality too might change. Let's see if that could work. So I'm in for branding too. I'm in for speaking good about our country and putting some positivity into it. I want us to run because our time is up. Do you want us to talk about the Catholic Church blessing same-sex marriage? It's making round everywhere in the world. George, do you want to quickly just tell us something? And BD, is there anything you have about that? Pope Francis allows priests to bless same-sex couple. And the church said the blessing amounts to real development, that nevertheless, it does not amend the traditional doctrine of the church about marriage. That was what they said.
They're dancing with it. They're dancing with the truth. That's all I can say. They're dancing with the truth and call a spade and let it just rest. But this is exactly the beginning. Before you know it, it will be, they're going to be just like Lot was close to Sodom. But eventually he started being a minister in Sodom. And this is what Catholic Church is doing now. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Biddy, anything on that before we go? Yeah.
They are just being political there. They said bless their marriage, bless their union, but don't support their marriage. I don't understand that.
That doesn't make any sense.
So I don't understand. Now what I said, see, branding Nigeria is possible, but first you can't brand when people are not happy. You start from making people happy, making people let them feel that they are worth something. You don't make Nigerian when they feel they are worthless, and you said you want to brand.
That's a good one. On that note, we want to call it quit for today. Wow, beautiful. George from Toronto, Canada. George, thank you for coming in. I
will say compliments of the season and Merry Christmas to everybody. We'll see you.
We're doing that on Friday. On Friday is going to be Christmas jive, Christmas greetings. And so guys, be around Friday. We'll be doing more of some real happy news update. So on this note, viewers, thank you for tuning in. It was nice having the viewers online, and BD from Lagos, Nigeria, George from Toronto, Canada. God bless you guys. Friday, please don't miss Friday. Friday is going to be beautiful. Friday is going to be sweet. We're celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you, George. Bye-bye.